Imagine diving into the heart of Asia, where festivals take on a whole new meaning. In Thailand, the Monkey Buffet Festival serves up a feast fit for 1,000 monkeys, literally. Locals lay out a banquet of fruits and veggies, celebrating these cheeky creatures that roam the streets. Then there's the Kanamura Matsuri in Japan, a festival dedicated to fertility. It features giant phallic symbols paraded through the streets. It's a vibrant mix of tradition and humor, drawing crowds eager to celebrate love and life. And don't miss the Boryong Mud Festival in South Korea, where mud wrestling, mudslides, and even mud skiing take center stage. It's a messy, exhilarating way to embrace the healing properties of the local clay. Let's look into some of the weirdest festivals of Asia. Booze and Blood Festival in Thailand is held annually in the town of Tak, featuring a procession of spirit mediums who pierce themselves with sharp objects, such as swords and knives, as a way to demonstrate their faith and connection with the divine. The festival combines bloodletting with traditional Buddhist ceremonies, which can be both mesmerizing and shocking for onlookers. The Monkey Buffet Festival in Lopburi, Thailand, celebrates by offering a grand feast of fruits and vegetables to the town's monkey population. This yearly event attracts tourists and emphasizes the importance of these animals within the local culture. What makes it weird in Lopburi, Thailand, a large buffet of fruits and vegetables is laid out for the local monkey population. Tourists can watch as hundreds of monkeys feast on the spread, and there's even a Monkey King crowned for the occasion. November. Thaipism is celebrated by the Tamil community in India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and Singapore to honor Lord Murugan. Devotees often pierce their bodies with hooks, skewers, and other sharp objects as acts of devotion, which can be both mesmerizing and disturbing to watch. What makes it weird? Devotees pierce their bodies with hooks, spears, and even large metal rods as acts of devotion. Many people carry massive kavadis attached to their bodies by hooks. The ceremony is both intense and spiritual. January or February. The Mahakumbh Mela is a mesmerizing spectacle that draws millions to the banks of sacred rivers in northern India. Every 12 years, this grand festival celebrates the confluence of spirituality and culture. Pilgrims from all walks of life gather to cleanse their souls in the holy waters, believing it purifies them of sins and grants liberation. The event is steeped in mythology, rooted in the legend of the churning of the ocean, where drops of nectar fell at 4 locations: Haridwar, Allahabad, Nashik, and Ujjain. Each site becomes a vibrant hub of devotion, with sadhus, or holy men, showcasing their ascetic practices, and colorful processions filling the air with chants and prayers. The Mahakumbh Mela is often considered a truly awe-inspiring and, to some, a weird festival, but it holds immense spiritual and cultural significance for millions. It is one of the largest and most complex religious gatherings in the world. Here's why it might be seen as weird by those unfamiliar with its customs. The sheer size of the event is mind-boggling. Every 12 years, millions of people, some estimates say up to 100 million, gather at the banks of the Ganges River or other holy rivers depending on the location for a spiritual cleansing. People from all over the world come to take part in this enormous pilgrimage. Pilgrims believe that by taking a holy dip in the river, they will be cleansed of their sins and attain salvation. The moment of the Shahi Snan, royal bath, involves huge crowds plunging into the river at a specific moment, creating a surreal, almost chaotic, scene of devotion. The Naga sadhus, naked ascetics who cover their bodies in ash, are a striking and memorable part of the Kumbh Mela. These holy men live lives of extreme austerity and devotion, and they sometimes engage in controversial or extreme acts, like walking barefoot through fire or meditating for hours in freezing water. Their appearance and practices may seem unusual or startling to outsiders. Some sadhus and devotees enter trance-like states, meditate for hours, or engage in extreme ascetic practices like piercing their bodies or standing on one leg for long periods. These acts are seen as a way to achieve spiritual enlightenment or to gain religious merit, but to outsiders, they can seem strange or unsettling. The festival involves such a large number of people that the gathering can look almost like a human sea, creating an intense atmosphere of noise, color, and devotion. The crowded scenes, especially during the holy dips, can appear overwhelming to those unfamiliar with the festival. Yet, it's all in the name of spiritual liberation. Devotees often float offerings of flowers, coins, and small boats with candles into the river. This ritual is symbolic of offering prayers and hopes to the river goddess. It's a sight to behold as countless offerings float along the river's surface in a mesmerizing display. To outsiders, the idea of such a massive gathering centered around intense religious devotion can seem strange, but to millions of Hindus, it's the ultimate expression of faith and a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The festival represents the idea of purification and renewal, and its deep spiritual and historical roots make it meaningful for those who participate. The atmosphere is electric, with spiritual discourses, cultural performances, and the aroma of traditional food wafting through the crowds. It's not just a festival, it's a profound journey of faith, unity, and the celebration of life itself. The Mahakumbh Mela is a reminder of our shared humanity, where the river of spirituality flows through every heart. In the city of Yanshui, people stand in front of huge beehives filled with fireworks that are lit all at once, creating a dazzling, yet terrifying, shower of sparks. Participants wear helmets and protective gear to withstand the intense barrage. This festival takes place in February. Stretching throughout the month of July in Kyoto, Japan, the Gion Matsuri features stunningly ornate floats and traditional costumes. The climax involves a parade of floats that can weigh up to several tons, requiring teams of people to coordinate their movement through the streets. India is home to some of the most fascinating and unusual festivals, and one of the weirdest is Ladmer Holi. This festival is a unique variation of the traditional Holi festival, where people throw colored powders at each other to celebrate the arrival of spring, but with a very unusual twist. The main feature of Ladmer Holi involves women playfully hitting men with sticks, known as lathis. This might sound strange, but it's part of an ancient tradition. The men approach the women in the town, and the women, armed with sticks, playfully beat them as they try to defend themselves. It's a chaotic and fun celebration of color and action, but it can be seen as unusual to outsiders. What makes Ladmer Holi even more unique is the role reversal. Typically, men would be in the dominant position, but in this festival, women take the lead. Men come to the village to request the women to play Holi with them, and the women respond by hitting them with sticks as part of the fun and festivities. The festival is believed to have roots in the mythical story of Lord Krishna and his consort Radha. According to legend, Krishna once visited the village of Barsana and was playfully beaten by the women of the town. This is now reenacted during Ladmer Holi, which is typically celebrated in the week leading up to the main Holi festival, especially in the towns of Barsana and Nandagaon in Uttar Pradesh, India. The aggressive nature of the festival, with people being hit with sticks and drenched in colored powders, combined with the reversal of roles between the sexes, makes it a festival unlike any other. It's a mix of joy, mischief, and even a little bit of chaos, all while maintaining the playful spirit of Holi. While Ladmer Holi is one of the more unusual festivals in India, it is deeply rooted in the country's mythology and cultural practices, making it a beloved tradition for locals. Seda Water Festival is celebrated during the New Year, involving participants splashing water at each other as a symbol of purification and renewal. It's a lively celebration, with people donning traditional attire while engaging in playful water fights. The Yaoshan Beer Festival in China celebrates beer with plenty of tastings, games, and live music. Attendees engage in fun challenges and competitions, including a beer drinking contest, showcasing their love for this frothy beverage. The Aomori Nabuta Matsuri in Japan features massive illuminated floats made from painted washi paper and bamboo. These elaborate floats depict warriors, mythical creatures, and kabuki actors, culminating in energetic parades with lively music and dance, showcasing Japan's artistic tradition. The Cheese Rolling Festival in Bhutan involves participants rolling large wheels of cheese down a hill, racing to see who can reach the bottom first. It's a fun event that brings the community together in a spirit of competition and merriment. The Toyosu Market Tuna Auction in Japan is renowned as one of the most bizarre events in the culinary world, where top chefs and restaurants bid astronomical prices for giant tuna. The spectacle of high-stakes bidding and the sheer size of the fish can be surreal for first-time observers. The Festival of the Hungry Ghosts in China and Singapore honors the spirits of the dead, with the living performing rituals to keep their ancestors' spirits content. The festivities can include ghostly processions, large-scale theatrical performances, and offerings of food for wandering spirits. The Kanamara Matsuri in Japan, known as the Festival of the Steel Phallus, takes place in Kawasaki and centers around a giant, decorated phallus. People carry it through the streets in a procession, with activities focused on fertility, sexual health, and sometimes humor. The Penang International Dragon Boat Festival in Malaysia features vibrant cultural performances, with some boats rowed in unusual ways during the races. The Chingay Parade in Singapore is known for its massive, extravagant floats and dazzling costumes, including performances with people balancing on stilts, dancing dragons, and over-the-top outfits, celebrating multiculturalism and the Singaporean way of life. The Jaran Kapang in Indonesia is a unique dance where participants ride wooden horses and trance-like dancers are said to communicate with spirits, known for its mysterious and eerie atmosphere. La Tomatina in the Philippines hosts a unique version of the Spanish festival, where thousands of participants throw tomatoes at each other in a free-for-all food fight. The Boryong Mud Festival in South Korea is all about mud, with people slathering themselves in mud from the Boryong mud flats, enjoying activities like mud wrestling, mud sliding, and even mud massages, creating a giant outdoor spa experience. These festivals showcase the rich tapestry of culture, humor, and community spirit across Asia, proving that celebration can be as quirky as it is meaningful.